The Arizona Cardinals present themselves in such a very weird position because no one in this season would have thought we would be 4-4, but here we are, right? We have an even record at the top of the NFC West, and we have an opportunity to actually make the playoffs. My prediction for the Cardinals this season was 8 to 9 wins, and you guys know that I have been high on the Cardinals, but 3 game-winning field goals? Didn't see that coming, especially by Chad Ryland. So, I mean, shout out to him because he's gotten us 3 wins, so absolutely blessed. Appreciate you, Chad. We're playing teams close, and we are actually in position to win almost every single game. We've been blown out twice, but the Bills game, we were in that. Detroit, we were in that. And there has been a massive glaring hole for the Cardinals this season, and Tom Brady even said it himself that the Cardinals need to get an edge, and they will be a lot better. Getting pressure on the quarterback is one of the #1 things in the NFL that you have to do to be successful. So the Cardinals need to go out and make that trade. Monty needs to pick up the phone and he needs to ring it up and actually bring in some talent. And we're going to talk about 2 names that I think are very realistic for us. One of them I am a lot higher on, and a lot of Cardinals fans are very high on this guy too. But we could also bring in another player that I'm not even listing today. These are just the 2 people that I think the Cardinals could hyper realistically go out and go trade for. So let's go ahead and talk about the first one. And it's not the guy that you guys are probably going to be expecting, but that is Za'Darius Smith of the Cleveland Browns. It is safe to say that the Browns season has not gone the way they expected. They sit 4th in the AFC North, which is absolutely loaded with talent. Steelers are 6-2, the Ravens are 5-3, the Bengals are 3-5, and they sit here with a record of 2-6. I think they need to sell a little bit, go ahead and get some picks back, go get some assets, because Deshaun Watson is out for the year, so you might as well actually go ahead and dive in, get the assets back. Nick Chubb was out for like the first 6 games. Go ahead and bring in some picks back, and trading Za'Darius Smith might be a way to do that. And this also frees up cap, even though he is on a 1-year contract. We'll talk about that in just a second, but his season is okay, and in week 8, I mean, that trade value, he's trying to get that up there. In week 8, he had 9 pressures, tied for 2nd, which is fantastic, 28.1 pressure rate, which is great, and then 25.0 pass rush win rate. That is 7th in week 8. Winning 1 every 4 pass rushes is fantastic. If you can get that kind of production, you are in a very great spot. And on the year so far, Za'Darius Smith has 5 total sacks and 14 solo tackles. Pretty decent year, especially from a 32-year-old who I don't think we would have to give up a ton to get. And that's just me personally. There was a rumor going out there that they wanted a 4th or a 5th round draft pick, and I just absolutely would not do that for Za'Darius Smith. The Cardinals would have him for the rest of the year, but after that, it would be a 1-year contract going forward. So you would know that you're trading for a 32-year-old who is going to be 33 years old, and you don't know what the production is going to look like, but it is pretty solid, and he is actually a very solid pass rusher. Has been for a few years now. His prime years are definitely behind him. He's not the same guy he was in Green Bay or even Minnesota, but he does give you production, and he would be a massive upgrade over anything that we have currently. It's just the contract. It's nothing insane. You would be making a good amount of money, but it's nothing that I would not pay because we will have a ton of it. It just comes down to draft capital. I wouldn't give up anything crazy for Za'Darius Smith. If it's even a 5th round, I'm going to be a little hesitant. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'd be pushing for a 6th. If you can get Za'Darius Smith for a 6th round pick, I say you pull the trigger. Honestly, I think that is a very solid edge to have, and it does help for the potential of the future too, because it gives BJ Ojulari, Zaven Collins, just a veteran mentor as well, along with a guy who can give us production instantly. And if he stays healthy, he's going to give us a chance to win a lot of football games, and it's going to be a massive upgrade. Like I said, we have Zaven Collins and basically nobody right now, but we need somebody, and if we can get him in for a 6th round draft pick, I think we do it. I don't know if Cleveland wants to keep him. I don't know if he's even a name that they want to trade. I heard that he was somebody that is eligible to be traded, and Cleveland sitting at 2-6, like, they kind of need to make this move. And I'm sure Za'Darius would love to go to a team that actually has a chance to make the playoffs. And the Cardinals might be one of those dark horse teams that people look at and are like, they really don't have a chance, but we really do. Defense plays with heart, and if we can get an edge that gives us a legitimate presence, I think that is something that we absolutely need. So if we can get him for a 6, would not be opposed. He is on the older side. That is the only downside, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. The second guy is the guy that a lot of you guys want to see, and that is Azeez Ojulari. He started in 28 games for the New York Giants, and he has 22 career sacks. The production is absolutely there, and he is also the brother of BJ Ojulari, who was an Arizona Cardinal. He tore his ACL, but going into next year, they could be playing together. So that could be a really cool storyline, obviously. But this is a guy where you get production too. So storylines aside, you're going to get a very solid player. The one thing to note is he is up for a contract extension. So you are going to have to pay him, and you heard the production that I'm saying. So not only are you going to have to give up some draft capital, but you're also going to have to pay him next offseason. The production has been there this year, especially in his last game, the last game against Pittsburgh, I believe. He had 2 sacks. He's also heating things up because he had 2 QB hits. You guys see the QB hits on the right side, like he is getting to the quarterback. And in the last 3 games, again, he is heating up. 2 sacks, 1 sack, 2 sack. This is probably the best time to go ahead and get a trade because he is getting back there, and we need a player like this. It's probably going to cost a little more to get him. So probably like a 4th round draft pick if I had to guess, or potentially a 5th. This isn't a guy that's going to be very cheap. It's not going to be like a Za'Darius Smith where you can probably get him for like a 6th round draft pick just because he's old in age and Cleveland is looking to cap dump. That's not the case here. They're going to sell Azeez. It is going to be for a 4th if I had to guess. That is probably the thing, potentially even a 3rd. Just depends how much they value him because I do see him going somewhere, and it might even be Atlanta. Newsflash, we're not the only people looking to go get an edge rusher. The Falcons desperately need him too. A lot of other teams need him too, so they're probably going to be picking up the phones, and if we can't match what they want, then we're probably going to be out here. But this is a guy that gives us instant production, so it is very interesting, and I am hoping Monti picks up the phone because this is somebody that we should be dabbling in. And apparently, per K1, or I don't know his name, K Season 2021, I don't know why I butchered that, on Twitter, he said, per AZ Sports and per Wolf and Luke, that Cardinals Monti Ossenfort says the Cardinals are in trade talks with teams in regards to the trade deadline. I don't think we're selling. This means we're probably going to be buying, and this is a fantastic sign. This is exactly what you want to see. It's not going to be like a Buda Baker trade. If we were losing games, that's probably something that would have happened, but I don't see that as the case anymore. I think Buda is a building block for us. He's the heart, he's the soul, he's the leadership of this defense. We were sitting here with a record of 2-6, and yes, Buda's name would probably be floated here. But now, we need to go win it. We need to go get an edge and build this team because the offense is capable of winning us so much games. We just need the talent defensively to actually back them and get us those stops so it doesn't feel like every time we don't score on offense that the defense just lets up points. You want to be able to punt the ball away and feel confident in your defense to get you a stop and get the ball back. If you can't have that confidence, you're going to be in trouble, and that starts with an edge. Monti also might trade for an interior defensive lineman because we are crippled right now. LJ Collier and Justin Jones, the guys we signed in free agency, dropped, and they are on IR right now. Darius Robinson has been fluctuating with an injury, and I believe his mother passed away, so rest in peace. He's going through a lot right now. We don't know when his debut is going to come up, but when he's on the field, he's going to be a pretty decent piece for us. But it's not like he's going to come in here and be Aaron Donald. He's going to be a rookie. He's going to have to go through that. It's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. And preseason looked pretty good, but he's not going to come in here and, like I said, be Aaron Donald. And then Roy Lopez has been banged up. Like, it's just a bad cycle right now. Like I said, the Cardinals have an opportunity to do something great. We could be one of the most big underdog teams to make the playoffs this year, and if we can stay afloat at the NFC West, that is definitely up for grabs. That would surprise a lot of people, but Seattle, their defense, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in Seattle, man, like at all. I've been super out on them. The Rams offense is pretty good, but the defense, again, I don't believe in them. And then the 49ers are getting healthy, but if we can start winning games and keep this up, we're going to be in a good spot. So I think Monti needs to be aggressive after this week, after this Sunday, and make a move. I don't care if we lose this game. If we win, it makes it a bigger even incentive to go out and make that trade. But even if we lose, gotta go make a deal. So I'm hoping Monti actually pulls the trigger here and actually goes and gets us some talent. But with that being said, that is gonna wrap up today's video, man. If there are some names that you guys want the Cardinals to bring in at the trade deadline, drop them down in the comment section below. Let me know your guys' opinions on the 2 players that I listed. Do you think those are realistic? Would you rather see us go a different direction? And what do you think the draft capital on those 2 players are gonna be? And with that being said, that is going to wrap up today's video, man. If you guys did enjoy, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL related content. So if you're a fan of either of those, this is the perfect channel for you. But like I said, man, that is all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.